I never imagined I'd be the guy sipping coffee, watching a SWAT team crash a wedding while a helicopter buzzed overhead. But there I was, front row seat to chaos. Guests in fancy suits scattered like they were in a Hollywood chase scene. The bride sobbed into her lavish dress, and Evelyn, the mastermind of this mess, screamed at a federal agent, demanding to speak to the FBI's manager. The kicker? It was all unfolding on my land. She had no idea I was a federal agent, or that her downfall was coming. Let's rewind to see how we got here. Evelyn was the HOA's self-proclaimed queen, ruling our neighborhood like her personal fiefdom. She slapped fines on the smallest infractions, mailboxes slightly crooked, lawns too green, trash cans out a minute past pickup. She didn't just want power, she thrived on making people miserable. I was lucky my property sat just outside the HOA's reach, beyond her grasp. But that didn't stop her. Once, she tried fining me for parking my truck in my own driveway, citing some vague community aesthetic rule. I laughed, ignored her, and thought that was the end. I underestimated her spite. It started at the coffee shop. I overheard Evelyn bragging about planning the event of the century, her daughter's wedding. She was loud, making sure everyone knew she was the genius behind it, dismissing expensive venues because she had perfect community land lined up. My ears perked up. There's no community land, here just private lots, including mine. As she rambled about giant tents, catered liquor, and imported French decor, it hit me. She meant my land, uninvited, like it was hers. I could have confronted her, waved my deed, and shut it down. But why rush? She'd tormented neighbors for years with her control-freak antics. This was my chance to let her dig her own grave, and I wasn't passing it up. I watched her that weekend, strolling past her house. Through her window, I saw her wedding command center, color-coded schedules, vendor lists, seating charts like a general planning a war on my turf. She was so smug, she didn't even consider asking permission. That's when I saw my opening. As a federal agent, I knew her scheme wasn't just rooty, it was illegal. I made calls. First, the ATF. Evelyn had set up a cash bar, selling alcohol without a permit, a raid-worthy offense. Then I dug into her sister's husband, the liquor supplier. Turns out, he'd peddled bootleg booze before felony territory. Add trespassing, and her entire guest list was breaking the law the moment they stepped onto my property. I set the trap and waited. The week before the wedding, Evelyn turned the neighborhood into her personal circus, barking orders, making absurd demands, acting like she was staging a royal ball. Crews hauled in tents, caterers unloaded food, and rental companies dropped off tables all on my land. I watched from my porch, coffee in hand, resisting the urge to wave. Too easy. Wedding day arrived. Guests flooded my property in designer clothes. Clueless, they were trespassing on federal turf. Evelyn basked in the spotlight, acting like she'd conjured the place from thin air. The ceremony started, music soared, vows were exchanged. Then came the toast. Evelyn grabbed the mic, glowing with pride, ready to boast about her flawless planning. She got one sentence out before sirens wailed. ATF agents swarmed the bar, shutting it down. Police blocked exits, announcing trespassing violations. A helicopter roared overhead, spotlight pinning the tent. Chaos erupted. Guests screamed, some bolted, others froze. The groom's family tried to play it cool, but Evelyn lost it. She stormed an agent, yelling, "I'm the HOA president. I demand the FBI manager." The agent, stone-faced, handed her a notice: trespassing, illegal liquor sales, conspiracy charges. Her face cycled through rage, confusion, then dread. She spotted me, arms crossed, watching. "You did this," she screeched. I sipped my coffee. "You did this." I just called it in. Her reign was over. The wedding day buzzed with fake smiles and over-the-top outfits. Cars clogged the streets as guests strutted to my land's tents like it was a red carpet event. Evelyn barked at vendors, berating a caterer over uneven hors d'oeuvres, sighing, "You're lucky I hired you." I watched from my porch, coffee steaming, unseen. Guests praised her stunning venue, and she soaked it up, never admitting it wasn't hers. The bride, Evelyn's daughter, seemed nice, nervous but kind, caught in her mom's mess. I almost felt bad for her, but she had to know this was shady. Trouble brewed at the bar. Evelyn's sister's husband poured drinks, skipping IDs, pocketing cash with a smug grin, unaware the ATF was inbound. The ceremony dragged on, Evelyn hijacking every speech, even the groom's mom's, turning it into her saga. Then her toast. This day took vision and hard work mine, she beamed. Sirens cut her off. Black SUVs rolled in, lights flashing, chopper glaring down. ATF nabbed her sister's husband mid-pour. Hands up, cash stash busted. Police called out trespassing. Evelyn stomped over. What's this? Private land, illegal event, an officer said, nodding my way. She saw me, hissed, You trespassed and broke laws, I said. She demanded a manager, but the agent just stared. Her husband got cuffed, told fraud charges catching up. This is a mistake, he yelled. Evelyn spun, shrieking, a nightmare. The bride muttered, Mom, what did you do? I sipped, savoring it. The aftermath was wild. Rumors flew, mostly Evelyn's spin. She was targeted. I'd framed her. She vanished for days, her husband's fraud probe and sister's husband's charges keeping her busy. But she bounced back, knocking on doors, claiming victimhood, blaming me. Neighbors nodded politely, then laughed behind her back. Her crown was gone. She sued me emotional distress, reputational damage, pinning her family's arrests on me. I countered with my deed, police reports, ATF documents, and her own social media post bragging about using my land. Her suit collapsed fast, her woes piling up. Local news tied her husband's fraud to HOA funds she'd siphoned for landscaping, renovations, and wedding deposits. The neighborhood erupted. An emergency meeting packed the community center. Evelyn strutted in, smug, until residents unloaded years of gripes, fines, missing fees, her wedding scam. Bank records showed transfers to her account. She flailed, blaming clerical errors, then me. No one bought it. The vote to boot her as president was instant and unanimous. She stormed out, yelling about lawsuits, but she was done, power stripped, sued by her own victims. With Evelyn out, the HOA scrapped her petty rules. They sold land to recoup losses. I bought a plot next to her house. She confronted me as crews arrived. What's this? She snapped. A dog park, I grinned. She paled. She loathed dogs, had banned them with absurd regulations. You can't. My land, no HOA, I said. She stood, speechless, defeated. The park opened, dogs barked, kids played, neighbors loved it. Evelyn hid inside, glaring through curtains. I caught her staring as I sipped coffee, the sound of happy chaos, my victory song. She was gone, powerless, irrelevant. My peace was reclaimed.